Welcome to Thursday's Fanzone. Hasn't it been quite the week of Premier League action? And the drama keeps on coming. Joining me in the studio today is our one and only Leroy Rossinia.
Hello.
Are you a happy man?
Ten Hag.
You are bringing the vibes, bringing the energy. Now, of course, we have to start with that breaking news that from today, the appointment of
Ten Hag
as the next Manchester United first-team manager. Now, the Dutchman will join United at the end of this season and has signed a contract until 2025. Who is it, Leroy?
Ten Hag.
Now we want you to get in touch and tell us your thoughts, please, on this appointment. Whether you're a United fan or not, get in touch, use the hashtag PLFans and let us know what you make of it. Right, he's jamming away over here to it. Look, this is football's worst kept secret, I feel, but it's been official. Ten Hag is coming to the Premier League. What do you make of the appointments?
Well, I think Man United fans are super excited. It's a lift that they needed. Not just because of the performance against Liverpool, but they need to see a way forward.
Yeah.
And this guy has got a really good record at Ajax. He's done some wonderful things there. He's obviously worked under Pep at Bayern Munich. And they just need someone who's going to give them some belief. And, you know, we all know what's wrong with United, but I don't think anybody knows how to put it right. First, you need to get the manager right, and then you've got to get the manager working up and working down. And when I say working up, in terms of the people above him, you've got to do things better. And there's working down in terms of bringing people through, coaches through, who know what he wants. And this guy knows exactly what he wants. Whether it'll work or not, look, that's another debate. But I think it's a very good step in the right direction.
Well, what's he been like at Ajax? They haven't quite won the title yet this season, but it's looking likely.
Well, look, the two guys who were involved in for this job were Pochettino and himself. And that Ajax side, when Tottenham got to the final, were incredible. Absolutely incredible. Positive football, attacking football, really good structure. Exciting. Every time they played, I was off my seat because I really enjoyed watching them play. That is something that United just haven't had in recent years. The other thing that's really important, within that, the statement that was put out was long-term vision. The other managers who they brought in, you know, Mourinho, Van Gaal, it's all been short-term. Even Solskjaer, they said he had 3 years, but it was always almost week to week. They got a result, they didn't get a result, people would react off that. By saying it's a long-term vision, now fans can sit back and say, look, maybe we're going to have a few difficult times, but we know where we want to get to. And believe me, I'm looking out there, the pool of managers, this is the best manager they could get in at this time to take on this job, because it is a massive job. Look, let's be honest.
Also, his first time in the Premier League as well. What a job to take when you've never managed a Premier League club before.
People keep saying that. It was Pep's first time in the Premier League. It was Klopp's first time in the Premier League. It was Tuchel's first time in the Premier League. And look how they've done. So I honestly, if you know your football, you know your football. If you know where the best players are, you know where the best players are, because recruitment is going to be vitally important. So all this about not having Premier League experience, he's got great football experience. And that's what they've got. They've got a man with great football experience, a man whose career is on the up, not on the downward slope like maybe other managers, and I do think it's a good appointment. Let's see how quickly he can turn things around, because I think it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of effort.
Should we get some fans?
Yes, please.
Should we see what they think? Let's head South Africa, because Kevin is a Manchester United fan. Kevin, what was your initial reaction when you heard this news about your brand new manager for next season?
Hey guys, how are you guys doing in the studio?
Good. You, Kevin?
Awesome. I'm great. No, my initial reaction was actually to get my barber on the line and tell him straight away that I'm coming in to get that bold haircut, because I've never been so excited for a new manager or a signing in probably 5 years. I haven't been so excited. I do believe that he's the right man for the job at the right time of his career, in terms of the trajectory of his career, and I'm absolutely excited for it.
Kevin, I'm really pleased you said that about the time of his career, and also obviously where United are at the moment. And I'm also pleased that you said 5 years, because I think that's being realistic. Because you look at what Jurgen Klopp's done at Liverpool, it's taken all that time, to get them to where they are. Obviously, Pep is a little bit quicker, but he had the resources, and I think there was obviously what was put in place before Pep went there was all towards them getting to where they are now. How do you think United fans? Sorry, how do you think United fans are going to react, say, maybe next year if United are maybe struggling a little bit and you're going through that process? Will he get the support that's required?
I think he definitely will. So the United fans, obviously, we've been spoiled with so much success that we've sort of don't have an idea of how to get through these difficult times. But from what I've seen, the United fans have understood that this won't be a quick fix. We've tried a quick fix. We've tried bringing in a serial winner like Jose, but we fully understand that the squad is nowhere near good enough. So he's going to need a couple of transfer windows to sort this crisis out that we are in. So he will definitely get the support from the fans, and the fans have put so much pressure on the board that they will also I think they'll take the lead from the fans, and he will get the time that he needs and deserves. And like you said, with the structure, it's not just about getting a new manager in. The whole footballing structure in terms of getting a sporting director, changing our head of recruitment, all that stuff, we've gotten it terribly wrong. And I think he's coming in with a better structure. We're still not quite there yet, but we're definitely taking the right steps in the right direction, and we'll just have to be patient for it.
And Kevin, sorry, Kevin, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I guess you're hopeful that this will actually bring some clarity now, perhaps, in terms of where everybody's position is. And hopefully that will then reflect onto the players, because I'm not sure that we've seen the most cohesive Manchester United side as of late.
No,
so
right.
Are you hopeful that this is going to help bring some clarity?
Yeah, that's also another thing, and I think you spot on in terms of we don't actually know what's happening at the moment. It's a bit of a joke at the moment. It's a bit of a circus. We're seeing somebody who's supposed to be in a sports director's position with Darren Fletcher. All respects to him as a player. Obviously, we appreciative of what he's done as a player, but seeing him taking up a position in the executive side of things, and then seeing him in the dugouts shouting instructions, it's a bit of a mess. And that all comes down to the players as well. Like you said, in the formations that we've playing players out of positions in formations, that this will just settle everything down. Ten Hag is somebody who's got, like we said, he's got a clear philosophy of how he wants football to be played. He's got a clear philosophy of the type of player. And all this will just hopefully finally settle down the club and bring some clarity in exactly which direction we want. Yeah. I'm just so excited to just see some good, progressive, structured rebuild, like a real build, and I'm so excited for that.
That's great. Just finally, look, Leroy says, if you know your football, then you know your football. Is there any element of concern that Ten Hag's never managed a Premier League side before?
No.
Great.
Kevin,
that was decisive.
Perfect. I like you, Kev. I like it. To the point.
Perfect. Kevin, thank you very much indeed. Always great to hear your thoughts. He was decisive there. Agrees with you thoroughly.
He was decisive. And do you know what? While Kevin was talking a lot of sense as well, I was just thinking, what will this do to the players already there, Becky? Because it hasn't worked for Rangnick, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Will it really motivate them from now to the end of the season? I think the answer is yes. If they know that a manager's been appointed, he's come the end of the season, those who want to stay, like people like Matic who've announced that they're moving on, maybe not, but players who want to be a part of what's going forward at United, will it lift their game maybe a couple of percent because they know a new manager's coming and a new manager is watching him? So this game, coming up the weekend, Man United against Arsenal, is massive. I wonder if it'll have the reaction as if he actually did walk in the door, as if he was in the changing room. It'll be really interesting to see how the players react. Well,
Ten Hag has said he is committed to Ajax for the rest of the season, but don't tell me he won't be watching the Arsenal game. He'll be having an eye on that. Let's go to Kenya, Joshua, as another Manchester United fan. And I believe Ten Hag is there as your screensaver already in the background, Joshua.
Like that. Oh!
No!
He's back.
No, he's back. Oh. Quick, Joshua, speak to us.
So I'm super excited from this side of the continent. Very happy to see Ten Hag officially appointed as the manager of United. We have been waiting for this news, of course, so that we can see a different Manchester United in the game. Looking at the way Erik ten Hag has done stuff in Ajax, it has been really incredible. His philosophy, game plan, style of play, consistency in winning matches, skillful mastery in the technical tactics, effective communicator with the team, and that's what we need at the club right now. We have been struggling a lot, and I think this is the right manager at the right time in the right job. Yeah.
Joshua, I think you're right. I mean, his title is first team manager, but we all know that he is a coach and he'll be on the training ground. He's obsessive with detail. Sounds like Pep, sounds like Klopp. And it's not a bad way to have learnt off someone like Pep and work with him. Kevin said 5 years, last Man United fan we just had on. What do you think, Joshua? How long will he need to turn this Man United team around? And what do you expect? Do you expect him to let's start challenging? That's what you're going to measure him by? Challenging for the Premier League title? Or what do you expect from Ten Hag?
Okay, cool. Having looked at the mastery of how Ten Hag has been doing his job before, we don't expect him to, take a lot of time so that we can adjust the Premier League to bring back the glory that we had in court. I just believe that this is the guy who is going to quickly shift the game with the support of fans, of course, and the support of the club. He's going to be, develop the players to play the game that he has been playing in Ajax. And of course, we're going to see, quick wins and a different Manchester United, of course, in the next season. Of course, we don't expect a lot of time for him to do that transition, provided that he's given the support that he needs. We expect a better Manchester United. Yep.
Where do you think this leaves Ralf Rangnick now, between now and the end of the season? Because we do know he's going upstairs to Manchester United. He's not departing the club. And he's also said to the board, well, X, Y, Z, this is what I think is wrong. And he's given it to them. Is Ten Hag going to look at that list and say, OK, that's fine, and then work with Ralf on this? Or do you think he's going to come in and try and be his own person and say, well, that's cool, that was your way, but this is what I find and this is what I'm going to do?
Okay, cool. Good question. But I think it will be very okay if Ten Hag looks at what Rangnick has been looking for the season he has been as an interim manager, and then, of course, try to bring it into the style of play, and, of course, take it into consideration if he wants to bring some new players on board. And, of course, those will be like the takeaways he needs to have in mind before doing any decision. Yep.
Yeah. Leroy, okay?
Yeah, Joshua, loads of people have been involved with this. Man United fans all around the world. Vuvu says, top appointment, but he needs quality players. Lungo says, we have seen this movie before. Moyes, Mourinho, Gunnar Solskjaer, Ralph, etc. Hussein in Kenya says, I wish Ten Hag lots of luck. He's going to need it. Sagner says, I think Man United is still going to be as terrible as ever under Ten Hag. And Sean David Lowe said, happy Easter to you, Leroy, and my dear Becky. Dear Becky, I'll never get that shot. She said, I'm a very happy Man United fan to see Erik ten Hag bring some free-flowing attacking football using the 4-3-3 formation to the club and bring the club back to glory days. Trust me, Leroy, and my dear Becky. Come on, Man United. It's really interesting, Joshua, because, while you're talking now, I was just thinking about this is a win-win for Man United, because from now to the end of the season, if they lose a game and they play awfully, it don't matter. Ten Hag's coming in the end of the season. It's almost like a free hit. And so I do think it's quite clever. And by the way, there's not many clubs of the standard of Ajax who will allow another club to announce their manager at this time of the season. But I think it's maybe a preferable way for Man United to finish the season, because it's sort of taking the pressure off Rangnick and maybe the players.
Yeah, I agree with you on that point. But, at the point where even if Ten Hag came on board and wanted to change and do magic and so that we can win like 5 remaining matches, I don't think still we will finish in a good position. Of course, maybe we compete for Europa League season in the next season. But going forward, I think we will be having a consistent appearance on the Champions League. Yeah.
I think you make an interesting point, Leroy. How much do you think this word time that we talk about, well, in actual fact, he's going to have all summer. He's actually got now, we've still got 5-6 weeks left of the season. I lose count when we get to this point. Yeah. But that is an awful lot of time to prep. He's not somebody that's just being brought in and thrown into a game on Saturday. So how much do you think this time now, although he's still committed to Ajax, is actually going to help?
Maybe 2 months. Yeah.
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 I think he will have about 2 months of prep, which is important.
It is, but he needs a lot of prep. This 2 months, it'll be who's available, what players can we get in, which is really important from this time of the season because, by the way, that should have been going on with the recruitment team already. Who's going to be moving on, and how we can shape the squad to go forward. But I honestly believe, I mean, he signed 3 years, I think, with a 1 year option. I think you might need 5 or 6 windows, of prep to get Man United to where they want to go. Because you see, comparing them to Liverpool the other day, they're just miles away from Liverpool and Man City. So he needs time. So 6 windows is mostly what he needs.
Fabulous. Right, thank you very much for all your comments. We've got so many Manchester United fans. Let's get another one in, shall we? Let's line them up today. We want to get as many thoughts as we possibly can. Hello, Manash. How are you? You well?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Look, the smile on your face says it all there. Were you pleased when you heard this news about Ten Hag?
Yeah. I'm very excited that we did sign a very good coach, but now the real work starts now. We have to see what he can do for us.
Manash, what's the most exciting thing about Ten Hag? Because I'm sure that United fans would have maybe had the same feeling about maybe Mourinho, some did, some didn't. What is so exciting about Ten Hag coming to Old Trafford?
Yeah, I think it is self-made because if you can watch Ajax right now, they're a very attractive team. They are so consistent. So I really hope that he brings it to Man United because right now we are playing terrible football.
Okay. Do you know what? The biggest thing about these Manchester United fans, and Manash coming on, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks,
the
Manash.
biggest thing is the smile and the energy they're suddenly projecting because in previous, even days and weeks, it's not been the same energy. What are you getting on social media?
All those smiles and energies coming through my iPad.
Emojis.
Yeah.
Emojis.
Christopher Hudson says Ten Hag will succeed at United, but it's not going to be an overnight thing. Chukwamena says Ten Hag is a great mind. He will cause an absolute transformation at United. Prof says Ten Hag can help Man United stabilise, but it won't be a quick fix. And Ahmad says Eric Ten Hag, who Man United needed to take them back to the glory days. A good manager coming to coach the greatest team in the greatest league in the world. So lots of optimism from United fans.
Lots of optimism. Let's go to North Carolina. George is joining us. Optimism where you are, George. Are you thinking that this is the future and this is a good appointment?
I think it's a good appointment. Like, the key thing I think about the appointment is Ten Hag's vision. He said he wants to help and give the final decisions on transfers so that we avoid previous mistakes. So I think what his vision that he used to come is much optimism for us. Like, we won't think of maybe here we go again. We've appointed so many managers, it didn't work. But this one actually I think is going to work because he has a vision coming into Man U and long-term process also. So it won't be quick fix.
George, I get very excited about this conversation. I'm quite interested in your thoughts on the personnel at Manchester United, i.e. the players on the pitch. Let's start with the captain. Do you see potentially a change of captain coming, or do you think he'll stick with what he has?
I think it's going to be a sort of, let me say, maybe when Ten Hag comes in, they'll have to choose a captain. Like, maybe they can vote. Because I think during Pep's time, I think when, I didn't know the player that left that time, but they had to vote in Fernandinho, I think. So I think it's going to be something like a vote, I think. So if they could vote and say that it's not Harry Maguire, then they will move on and look for another captain.
George,
but I think we have to change the captain next season.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, George, but I actually think that they will sign a new captain. in all honesty. I think they'll start signing some leaders. I think it's something that's maybe been lacking at Man United. And it's no, I was going to more or less ask the same question, but that's got great minds.
We're so in tune.
We're so in tune. Do you know what I mean? Unlike JJ, I don't get him at all. But yeah, we are so in tune. But the point I was going to make is the team against Liverpool, I was thinking how many players will be there, let's say, at the end of next season. Now, how many players that started in that game against Liverpool, obviously that 4-0 defeat, George, how many of them do you think will be playing at the end of next season in, 12 months' time?
I think only 3.
Who's that?
De Gea, Sancho, and Bruno. The others have to be out of the door.
Wow.
Wow, that's a full scale.
It's a full scale, but I would add Fred and McTominay to that. And I know Fred and McTominay...
to stay?
To stay.
Okay.
And not because, and everybody's been criticising Fred and McTominay, but that's because it's a lot of the time they play them both at the same time. You see from the performance the other day against Liverpool why a lot of managers have played them at the other time. But what they've got is age on their side. They're mobile. And, they're good technical players. What you want to see is one of them in the team with someone who's maybe more creative. But in terms of the squad, McTominay and Fred, I think they've done all right. So, obviously they weren't on the pitch the other day, but I'm looking at the squad. And if you're honest, Man United fan, it's hard to name more than 6 or 7 players who'll be there. So that's the magnitude of the job.
Yeah.
And that's why it's such a difficult job.
Like, if you ask me, I think Fred and McTominay, I don't see the criticism about the two. You can actually play the two with a DM or something like that, because I think they are one of the best midfielders we have in the team. Other than the two, I can't call another person. Let me say, I don't think Matic, I don't think Pogba can do the job. So I think they are the 2 best midfielders we have in Manchester United. So if Erik ten Hag should come in, I think he will take them.
Really good beat. And the reason I'm saying about McTominay, I honestly believe that I remember Liverpool, Jordan Henderson, and I go back to Liverpool and Jordan Henderson about when he's being played right wing, and then obviously he's been an amazing captain. McTominay understands Man United. He's a really good athlete. He's technically very good. He's very young, and I think he could eventually become a Man United captain if he's given a role model. I honestly believe that. He's got it within him. And you need that in your football club.
You certainly do. A lot of unanswered questions about Manchester United, but Erik ten Hag is on his way.
He is.
Thank you very much for your thoughts, George. Always good. Yeah, look at that. You see the optimism that's just coming through from Manchester United fans is brilliant. Right, so we've come to the end of part 1. Can you believe that?
Oh my God.
It's all right. Join us after the break. We're not going anywhere. We are going to discuss all of last night's action, including big wins for Arsenal and Manchester City. Hello and welcome back to Fanzone. What a night of football we were treated to last night. There were twists and turns at both ends of the table. A big result for Arsenal there in the race for the top 4. How crucial is that point for Everton in terms of their survival in the Premier League? Newcastle managed to string some nice results together as of late. And well, it was all eyes on Manchester City. Could they return to the top of the Premier League table? Well, the answer, Leroy, was yes, they can.
It certainly
was.
With
a 3-0 win over Brighton. So let's check out the top of the Premier League table in case you need reminding. A single point between Liverpool and Manchester City. This is going to go till the end of the season and we could not be more excited. Chelsea, not the best night for them, but Tottenham, well, they're in 4th, but Arsenal absolutely absolutely chasing their tails. Only goal difference keeps Tottenham above them. In terms of the bottom of the table, that points for Everton, well, that's now moved them 4 points clear of that dreaded dotted line. They've played their game in hand now, so between Everton and Burnley, it's now game by game, straight out, shootout before the end of the season. But look at that, Newcastle up to 11th as well. I think Newcastle fans will be delighted with that.
Speaking to a Newcastle fan just before I came in here, he was disappointed that they were still in the bottom half of the table. That's how it's changed for Newcastle fans. Their perspective has changed somewhat, hasn't it?
Shift
disappointed to be in the bottom half of the table. A Newcastle fan. Typical. Brilliant.
That's hilarious. Right, do get in touch. Who were the biggest winners last night? That's what we would like to know. Hashtag PR fans, or get in touch by any of the usual channels. But Leroy, who do you think had the best night last night?
Arsenal. I thought Arsenal, look, written off by the way, a lot of Arsenal fans as well. To go to Chelsea, I know, look, Chelsea made some mistakes, but they needed to take advantage. And Nketiah to get a couple of goals was massive because they were struggling for goals. As you said, been written off. Now they're level on points with Tottenham, and it's just given them a massive lift. This is a very talented squad. I think everybody recognises that now. But you just felt that this season might have come a little bit too early. When they came under pressure, they seemed to go under a little bit. But last night was a massive result for Arsenal. Now, if they can keep that momentum going, and if they can play at the top of their game, they're a threat to anybody, let's be honest. They're as good as anybody in terms of Tottenham, Man United, and the teams around them. So look, that was a massive result. The Man City result was a good result because Brighton, of course, obviously, Arsenal and Tottenham in recent weeks are a massive problem. And for the first 45 minutes, you think, could they do it again?
Yeah.
As soon as the first goal went in, you thought, oh, City.
I think it was a sense of relief, wasn't it? It took 8 minutes into the second half for City fans to stop sweating on that game last night.
It certainly did.
They got there in the end. It is. Right. So let's bring in Franz from Nambia, a Chelsea fan, since you were just talking about the Arsenal-Chelsea game. What do you think of Chelsea's performance last night, Franz?
Last night, I think it was very poor. When you see how the team was playing yesterday, there were a lot of mistakes, especially the defense. They were making a lot of mistakes. They were not creating a lot of chances in front.
Yeah, there were some individual errors that led to most of the Arsenal goals, it has to be said, last night. What do you think that Thomas Tuchel makes of that? How do you solve individual errors? Oh, I just can't watch these goals.
And they'll get worse. The more you see them, the worse they get. I mean, this is a good finish from Smith Rowe.
Yeah.
A lovely guided finish into that bottom corner. And then, then they get back, Aspilicueta gets his goal, and you think, all right, they'll go on and win it. But a couple again mistakes. Sarr gives the ball away, and Nketiah gets his second, and then Saka, who won the penalty, made it 4-2. And you know what, friends? Just before I came in speaking to a Chelsea fan, and they're a little bit concerned because Tottenham and Arsenal only 5 points behind you. Chelsea's form, if they don't just lift their form and get a couple of results, they could be in trouble in terms of the top four. What do you think?
I don't think we are really in trouble to be in top four, because when you look at the games which are remaining, we can still make it to top four. And the other thing is that maybe the issue is the problem which is on the club or based on the ownership. Maybe it's also affecting the players. But when it comes to top four, I'm sure we'll finish on the third place, though we are now just 5 points behind, in front of Spurs and Arsenal.
Well, I've sort of heard as well this narrative of perhaps it's quite difficult to get up for these Premier League games now. When you have got third spot secured, you're not going to win the title. You're probably going to be all right and not drop down. But surely, shouldn't games like Lukaku last night, he started, surely shouldn't it be an opportunity for these players that won't be happy that they've been benched to take their opportunity and show what they're about and prove Thomas Tuchel wrong?
I think this season, Lukaku is one of the players who are really struggling to fit in the system that is used by the coach. But especially with the game for yesterday, Lukaku is supposed to use now the opportunity and prove to the coach that he can still fit in the team. He can be in the first 11, but he did not prove it. I think if he can be given more opportunity, more game time, he will still come back. Look at Werner. Werner was struggling at first, but now is one of the players who have improved and is doing well at the team.
Yeah, I mean, Franz, I think you're right. The thing is, for Vernon's taken he's into his second season now. Do you think Lukaku's going to get that chance? Do you think Lukaku's going to be part of the Chelsea side? He can go and challenge, the likes of Liverpool and Man City, because Chelsea fans be looking at Man United, because Man United have been out of the equation, and you'll be feeling next season. Look, Ten Hag, you've got Conte at Tottenham. Chelsea need to raise their game. This was supposed to be a season where they were going to challenge, they were going to go head-to-head with Man City. And at the moment, you're going head-to-head with Tottenham.
Yeah, you are right when you say that. But I think one of the things which is affecting our team is also our midfield. The combination in the midfield, the coach sometimes change. He put in Kovacic with Kante, or maybe Jorginho with Kante. So I prefer when he use Jorginho as the holding midfielder, and then Kante to be the midfielder who attacks a bit. That combination work, or with Kovacic, is also good. But when you look at our defense, if we have Rudiger and then Thiago Silva, although he is one of the old player now, we cannot trust him if he will play the same next season again. But if you keep on playing like how he is playing this season, I think we can challenge for the title.
Brilliant.
Yeah, well, they were without Rudiger as well last night, wasn't he? He's such a key part of that defence. Friends, thank you very much. Let's get the Arsenal perspective now. We're going to welcome Maya. And Maya, I want to start. I want you to be really honest with Leroy and I, please. Did you have much optimism going into the game last night?
Honest?
Leroy, stop shaking your head.
What? I wasn't.
So last night, I started watching the match with the perception that maybe we'll lose, maybe we'll come out with a draw, But I mean, we scored one. I'm like, okay, let's see how it goes. 1-1, 2-2, and I mean, towards the end, my heart was beating, racing so fast. I felt like, moving the clock to 90 minutes and stopping the match, right? But I was glad we were able to, scale through. I mean, I wasn't expecting it. It was the greatest surprise for me. I mean, after losing 3 matches, in fact, I had to come to my friend's house today, who is a Manchester United player, to, sort of console him that I was thinking we'll cry together, but I'm the one laughing and he's the one still crying, basically. So,
well, hopefully he's not crying too much with the Ten Hag news, so hopefully there might be something for you both to celebrate together.
Exactly.
But look, defensively last night, what did you make of the defence?
For Arsenal, I think it was everybody putting their shift yesterday, right? And I was glad the coach finally allowed Eleni to come in to replace Lakonga, because it is a game of the future and the present. Eleni is more experienced than Lakonga, and he expressed that and he showed that. I mean, everybody saw that, he was way better in the middle than using Lakonga instead, right? For the defenders, I gave it to White and the partnership. Everybody at the defense, they tried. Although we still miss Tineri, but the young lad on the left, actually tried his best as usual. Although he was still, busy running helter-skelter on the pitch. But I think overall, the entire team really tried yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, you make a really good point. Elneny is, I think he's underrated. I think he's, I'd forgotten about him. He went to the Africa Cup of Nations, and I think he's a consistent performer. We're going to get out of him. You're going to get 7 out of 10, and sometimes that's what you need with young players. But going forward now, you've got a Man United supporter with you. Big game at the weekend, Mayor. Now be brave. I know there's a Man United supporter who's not in picture there, but say what you're going to say, okay? What's the score going to be?
He can come and sit beside me, because I just told him that the reason I came to him is to let him know that I beat Chelsea yesterday, and I'm going to beat him.
Okay,
right.
get him to come and sit down next to you. Come sit down. Come sit down. Come sit down. Quick. Stop jumping up, dancing about Ten Hag.
Hey! He's got his shirt on
as well. So, Maya, you tell me, what's the score going to be?
It's going to be 3-0. Or let me say 3-1.
3-1.
Right? Because Ronaldo will be back by that time. And I'll give them 1, but I'm going to score 3.
And your friend's name? What's your friend's name?
Chidi.
Chidi. What's the score going to be, Chidi?
It's going to be 1-2 to Manchester United.
Yay. Okay, there we go. I almost wish I was a fly on the wall in that house for the game of the weekend. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us.
Cheers, guys.
We will see you
See you
soon.
later.
Right, let's go to our Manchester City fan to see how Charlton, how are you feeling? Oh, Charlie in the background there, I like your shirt. How are you feeling? Back at the top of the Premier League table. Was it ever in doubt?
Well, I have to be honest here. When the match started the first half, seeing that Brighton came from Tottenham with a win, I was a bit terrified, to be fair. And they tried to prove that they are a good team. First half, the chances we made were not that clinical. It was a bit, it wasn't the Manchester City we knew. But then second half, we came in, Mane broke the deadline, and from then onwards, we were cruising at the end.
Well, you know what, Charlton, you should have been scared of Brighton because they've been playing really well in recent weeks until that first goal went in from Mahrez. I think a lot of City fans were, let's say, on edge. But as soon as they got that goal, obviously the second goal from Foden was a little bit fortunate with a big deflection, but the third goal was absolute quality.
Kevin De Bruyne as well. He just whips the ball around the side there, showing exactly what he can do. But 3 months ago, you wouldn't say that a win against Brighton for Manchester City was massive, would you?
No, but you would now, because Liverpool were above them. So it is massive, and because of the way Brighton were playing. Yeah. And it's about timing as well. If you 3 weeks ago, you say, Brighton, you look at this fixture, not a problem, 3 points in the bag, but the performances away at Arsenal, away at Tottenham was so good. And even though they were missing a couple of players last night, they did make it difficult. And in a lot of ways, I think Liverpool fans might not agree with me, but I thought that was a more impressive performance from Man City because of where they were.
Yep.
Liverpool on a roll, got momentum. Man City haven't won the last 3 games. It was a stat. They've drawn in the Champions League, drew against Liverpool, drew in the Champions League, lost to Liverpool. They haven't won in 3 games. So they've not been in that territory for I don't know how long. So to get that result, and the front three, just like Liverpool's front three, they scored 4 goals. I think all 3 of them scored. All 3 of them got assists. But that was actually Man City's front three who scored last night. Mahrez, Foden, and Bernardo Silva. Charlie, do you think that's the way forward? Do you think that's Man City's best front three now from now to the end of the season?
Probably, yeah. But Mane is obviously right now best African player. Phil Foden, I'll say my best young player this season. Then Bernardo Silva. You saw him at the start of the season, how he handled everything, and literally almost every game we scored. So I would say, it can be the best front of Manchester City.
Thanks, Charlie.
Hey, Charlton, thank you very much indeed. Well, should we go from the top end of the table to the bottom end of the table?
Yeah, why not?
Because I think that was a game for Everton fans last night.
That's
They were probably quite relieved to nick a point just at the end there. Chris, how's the heart rate this morning?
It's come down finally.
I can imagine. Were you pretty nervy watching that? And what did you actually make of the Everton performance? Were there any signs of improvement?
Yeah, the first 15 minutes were just dreadful to watch, and Leicester was dominating, and I thought, here we go again. But they slowly built into the match. I thought Richarlison had his usual just hard work, guts, everything, but no finish for him at all. And then finally, in the second half, I kind of felt like we started to get into the game. It really looked like the better side. Maybe Leicester was tired, and I think it was deserved. I don't know, but I'll take it. You take any points you can get at this point.
Yeah.
Interesting that, Chris. I just saw the highlights because I obviously couldn't keep an eye across other games, and I saw the chance that Richarlison missed. And I really did feel for him. Sometimes you think, it's just poor technique. Do you just think he tries too hard, Chris? You just think he cares so much. It means so much to him and he just tries too hard.
Yeah, I mean he's all heart, and I think in those two cases, the first one especially was not like him. He finishes that 9 times out of 10 on the training ground. So I think it's you get into the match, you get your adrenaline going, and it's easy for a fan to sit back and criticize. But imagine the pressure those guys are under right now, and especially him. I think he truly wants to be a part of Everton as a winning side, not playing to stay up, but rather playing to get into a European spot. So love the guy. I think he's got a great deal of heart, and I just hope he's back. I hope we stay up and he can stay with Everton.
Well, Chris, it was a late goal that happened. It took a huge deflection. Does it sort of feel like luck potentially might be on your side with this?
Do the two words go together, Everton and luck? Because I'm not sure that those are two things that actually should be used in the same sentence. But hey, whatever, we'll take it.
Do you think you can survive?
I think we can, but I do think it's going to come down to the end. And honestly, I bought tickets for the Brentford match in May way back and was planning to come over to Europe thinking it'll probably be a meaningless game. I'm not sure it's going to be meaningless. I think it might be really exciting and unfortunately exciting for the wrong reasons, but I do think it's going to kind of come down to the wire. I don't think Burnley's out of this because they're used to this. They do it every year.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris, we're going to have a fans diary for that game in the season because I think you're right. I think there will be something on it. And just finally, Chris, you're going to be getting your Southampton scarf out tonight? Are you going to be?
You bet. I've suddenly become a huge Southampton fan, so at least for a little while.
Perfect. Thanks, Chris.
Absolutely. Chris, fantastic. Thank you. Have we got anything on the old iPad there, Leroy? Anything coming in?
Yeah, loads. Israel from Zambia says the biggest winners were us, Arsenal, after 3 games losing. Last night brought us back into the conversation to finish in the top 4. And Al Kahil says, I think the biggest winners last night were Man City because of how important the race for the title is, especially when Liverpool walloped United the other day. Walloped. United the other day. Just hold back on it. I love that word. Walloped. United. I love that word. It's a good word.
Yeah, some exciting football last night. And of course, the game for Burnley Southampton tonight to look forward to. But reminder of this, a few weeks ago, we ran you through a 25-man shortlist of potential new Premier League Hall of Fame inductees. And since then, the public have voted on who they think deserve to be and included. And now we can announce 6 players have been inducted into the Premier League Hall of Fame. And there we have it. A big congratulations and welcome to the latest inductees into the Premier League Hall of Fame. Ian Wright, Peter Schmeichel, Paul Scholes, Didier Drogba, Vincent Kompany and Sergio Aguero. Leroy, all well deserved.
Oh, my word. When you look back on the things that they've done in the Premier League, and we're fortunate because working here, we get to be reminded of it on a regular basis. And you think, oh my God, they were fantastic.
Yeah, they don't you? I remember that.
How good were they? And they've left this legacy, they've left this legacy for with the Premier League, and there's not many people who can do that. And every single one of those players, you can call a legend, and it kind of, it's not nowhere near good enough. No, Wrighty, Schmeichel, Drogba, Kompany, Sergio, who's only just recently. They are all unbelievable legends, but the legacy they've left with the Premier League is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. They all deserve it, and they're out tonight. You're going tonight, aren't you? You're going to the
well, I might be, yes.
I think you think you're going, so I think they deserve to have a good night because they're very lucky. Magnificent.
Yes.
I wasn't invited.
Oh no.
I wasn't invited. So
I shall congratulate them all on your behalf.
Please do.
I will do. But well done to them, absolutely. Thank you for voting as well if you got involved in that vote. And we always appreciate your thoughts, right? That's all we've got time for in part 2. But coming up in part 3, we're back with Who Are Ya? Who Are Ya? As challenger Glenn takes on reigning champion Joshua.
Ooh, they're good. They're good.
Right, so welcome back. It's time for this. All right, here we go. It's time for Who Are Ya? Who Are Ya? Right. I can't say that any other way.
You said it great. That's the only way you can say it.
Just comes out. Right, here's a quick reminder of the rules and our contestants. They have 40 seconds to describe up to 11 players to Leroy. right here in the studio.
Yeah.
Leroy is here in person. But they can't say the player's name. So for every correct guess, they'll get a point. And the player with the most points at the end is the winner.
Easy.
We all got the rules, yes?
Easy.
We're understanding it. Now, our reigning champion regained his title last week. It is Joshua from Zambia. Hey, Joshua, here we go. You're here to defend your title again. And our challenger this week actually requested to come on. Yes, he did. So hello to Glenn in Kenya.
Hi, Ben. Glenn beat me the last time, huh? Glenn, this is like a rematch. This is like a rematch because Glenn beat me the last time I was champion.
So you've forgotten that, Joshua. You've got to put it behind you then, Glenn. He's remembered. It's in his psyche, Glenn. I think you might have one on him.
I know, right?
I'd love to do it the second time.
Okay, Joshua, you are going to go first. So let's get 40 seconds on the clock.
Come on, Josh.
Okay, perfect. We are there. Are you ready, Joshua?
Yes.
Okay, in 3, 2. You got your ears open, Leroy.
I'm ready. Yeah,
1, 2, 3, go.
Manchester City captain.
De Bruyne.
No.
No, retired.
Fernandinho.
Yeah.
Man United forward had a stint at West Ham.
Lingard.
Yeah.
Chelsea Germany defender.
Rudiger.
Nope.
50 million Arsenal defender.
We'll give you that one. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, we'll give you that one. Keep going.
50 million Arsenal defender.
Which White?
Yeah.
Crystal Palace French forward shares his first name with Chelsea goalkeeper.
Mendy. Edouard.
Yeah.
Edouard.
Leicester City.
Well done. Okay, the reason why I got confused is because they were in a different order in my card. So I'm sorry about that. I was looking through them. But we got 5. 5. Not bad going. All right, Glenn,
Okay.
you've got to beat 5, okay?
Yep.
Okay. I also went 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. So I'll try and do it the same way this time.
Wait. It's not 5, it's 6 because he got Edward. It's not 5, it's 6.
No, I'm Fernandinho, Lingard, Rudiger, White, Edouard.
6.
That's 5.
Definitely 5.
Hey, mate, we'll have a look at the end. We'll have a look at the end, Joshua.
We'll have a look at the end. But let's go to Glenn first.
I think you got him, Glenn. I think you got him.
But here we go. 40 seconds on the clock. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Liverpool centre-back has been scoring a lot lately.
Konate.
Man City winger, English winger formerly of Liverpool.
Sterling.
Chelsea English midfielder was on loan at Fulham. He scored in the semi-final last week in the FA Cup.
Loftus-Cheek.
Arsenal midfielder from Switzerland.
Xhaka.
Man United goalkeeper.
De Gea.
Newcastle Brazilian moved from striker to a midfielder recently.
Pass.
Watford Senegalese winger.
Sarr.
Burnley English striker Cornet took away a penalty from him last week.
Glenn, it's just as reclined in his seat. Josh is angry.
Joshua, you are livid.
He's so angry, Glenn. When you got seats, Joshua, his head disappeared. He was back out the seat.
Oh no, Joshua. It was definitely 5. We've double, triple checked it. Have to say it was 5. We've counted it out. That means, Glenn, you are you are now the reigning champion.
It's a new champion. The new champion. That's twice you've beaten him now, Glenn. Twice you've beaten him. Well done, Joshua.
Well done. Look, before you both go, big game at the weekend, ironically, between you both. This could get interesting. Joshua, go on, give us a match prediction. What's the score going to be?
2-0 Man United, and the boost is the confirmation of Erik ten Hag as the Man United coach. Reason, players will up their game because now they are going to be playing for their future. And looking at what's happening, I hear the structure is going to be changed. Manager will have a lot of power, so players will up their game and their quality, so we'll win.
Right.
Fair point. New manager bounce. The manager hasn't even arrived yet.
It's not there.
But it could well be.
Exactly.
Glenn, what about you?
I am sorry, Joshua. I am sorry, Bex, but I'm actually going to go for a very bold prediction. I'm very sorry. Arsenal 5, Man United 2. And come on, Glenn. Is it because you beat me? Is it because you've beaten me twice on Who Are You? Don't take it that way. Come on. You saw how bad Christensen and Sarr were yesterday for Chelsea. I think Man United's defenders are worse than that.
Yeah.
I think we need another one, Glenn.
Oh, Glenn, I love your style because you know when someone says, I'm really sorry, you know they're going to go with a pow. Do you know, I'm really sorry. We're going to whoop you 5-2. I love that. I absolutely love that.
That was absolutely fantastic. Thank you to you both. Glenn, we will see you next week. Joshua, you'll have to come back round again, or we might have to try and get
we'll see how we go.
Another one, but awesome. Thank you very much, guys.
2 stars.
Anything final on a tweet? Anything?
Well, I just want to say Burnley, Southampton.
Yeah, we've got to talk about that one just very quickly.
It's really massive game for Burnley. No manager as yet. Wondering if the Sean Dyche situation will be a positive. If they got a point, obviously, before. They need 3 points tonight, don't they? 3 points.
They certainly do indeed. Right, we'll look forward to that football tonight. What a week it's been so far. What a show this has been. Thank you for having me on.
And again.
Thanks, JJ, for having the week off. He'll be back with you next
Have another week off.
Take care. We will see you soon on Fanzone.
Sorry, JJ. Have another week off.